What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Project Reinvented YouTube channel, and I'm your host, Lachlan John McRae. Now, today we're going to talk about morning routines, and more specifically, I'm going to give you the morning routine that I used to quit drinking. Now, I had a problem with alcohol for over 20 years. Now, some people will use the word alcoholic, and I tend not to use that word, especially when I talk about myself, because I believe in the power of words. But I had a real bad alcohol problem and drugs, and it wrecked my life for the best part of 20 years. And what I will say is, if you're looking to quit drinking, the number one thing is you want to stop. And I know a lot of people who their family try to get them to stop, and they don't truly want it for themselves. So no matter what you do, don't think you're going to just do this morning routine and it's all going to stop. You have to have a desire to stop. And I just want to put that disclaimer out there, okay? Because for me, I wanted to stop. I'd been to treatment centres, rehabs. I tried many different things, and I just couldn't stop. Now, this got to a point about 5 years ago. I was desperate. I tried many things. I even tried going to church. I was trying everything. And a friend recommended that I read the book called The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. Now, this book changed my life, okay? And it's a very simple process, but the whole philosophy behind the book, and it's about being your best self, but it introduces you to things, and I'll go through them. Now, the first one is exercise. Most people know exercise is good. Okay, exercise releases endorphins, it makes you feel better, releases the happy hormones, makes you feel better about yourself. And in the book, it's 20-20-20. So 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of meditation, and then 20 minutes of either journaling or personal development, self-help, reading a book. And for me, what I picked was 20 minutes exercise, 20 minutes meditation, and then 20 minutes of listening to a personal development book on Audible. So what I would do is set my alarm for 4:30, so I would get up at 4:30. And one of the key things when you're looking to do a morning routine is make sure you don't hit that snooze button, okay? So the night before, I would make sure my clothes were laid out. I would say my clothes, just my shorts, my t-shirt and my trainers. So I would have them, in the kitchen, and I would get up. I would make sure my phone was in the hallway. So I would set the alarm. So I had to physically get up to go and get my phone. So even if I wanted to hit snooze, I wasn't going to do it. And that way for me, it was a way to prompt me to make sure that I got up and I stayed up. Because by the time I got up, turned the alarm off, I was already out my bed. So downstairs, put my clothes on, have a drink of water, and then I would get myself, kind of psyched up, sit there, 10-15 minutes, get myself ready, just get myself prepared, and then I would make sure that I was out the door for 5 o'clock. So at 5 o'clock, then I would take a 20-minute run. For me, I would run, where I lived was a beach, and I've moved from that location now, but it was a beautiful run. So I would run down, and I would normally run in that 20 minutes, just close to about 2 miles. So I would run down to the harbour, and then I would go onto the beachfront. Right on the beach there's a little cliff, and there was a bench on the cliff. So I would run down there, do my 20-minute run. I would sit on the bench, and at that time there, I had no real experience of meditating. So I had, guided meditations on YouTube. But I was using, at that time, a Mind Valley app. I can't remember the exact, but it was Vision Lacani's app, and it was a meditation. So I would do 20 minutes meditating on the beachfront, and then when I finished that, I had Audible, and I would listen to a personal development book while I was walking back home. So I started that process, and obviously the first few days it's quite difficult to get into the routine, but it's a 66-day challenge. I think 66 days it was at the time. But anyway, so I started doing that, and at the beginning it was tough, but I could already feel from the first couple of days that I was starting to feel better. Okay, I was starting to get into it. And, at that point, I had cut down my drinking significantly because I was really desperate to change, but I was still drinking, and I was still smoking weed every single day to combat the alcohol. So I was just substituting the marijuana for the alcohol. So I was still using, some sort of substance to get me through my day. Okay, so as I started that routine, and within a couple of weeks doing that, I started to notice massive changes in myself. Because, for example, after I would do my run and I would do the meditation, while I was walking back home, I would start to notice things differently, like, flowers, spiders' webs. And I started to have this new awareness and new appreciation for what was round about me. So while I was walking, I was doing mindfulness techniques without even, realising what I was doing. But this was the start of my personal development journey. So I'd done that, and for the 66 days, I'd done it every single day. I never missed a day. And I remember on the last day, I'd done my first this was a long time ago, before cold water therapy was cool. But I'd done my first cold water therapy, dip. And by the time that I had finished that, I had removed the marijuana from my life. I had removed the alcohol from my life. But more importantly, I had what I would call, or what a lot of people would call, a spiritual awakening. And that was where I had a profound experience through meditation, which it's quite hard to put it into words, but I had this profound moment where I realised there was more to life. And it was quite I'll tell you the experience. My brother passed away from a drug overdose. It'll be 8 years this year, 7 years, but because I had problems with substance abuse and I had problems with, alcohol, and my younger brother did as well. And when he was going through, his troubles, he would call me and he would tell me certain things, and I didn't believe him, and I was being quite hard on him, so I would ignore his phone calls, and eventually he did die. And when he died, I felt truly guilty about it. I felt that I had let him down. I felt that I could have done more to help him, and I had a lot of this guilt. But by kind of really looking into myself, I was starting to kind of recognise things more, because I was spending time meditating, journaling. I was starting to look after myself. I was stopping taking drugs and alcohol. And this one day, I'd called my mum and I said, "Mum, I'm feeling really guilty. I'm blaming myself." And she says, "Listen, son, it's not your fault. That was his path, his journey." But anyway, that this morning I went to go to work out, and I stuck music on. I didn't really want to listen to this type of music this day, so I stuck a random playlist on, which was a rock playlist, which was his favourite music. And, when it came on, I started playing the air guitar, and he used to love the guitar. In fact, I have one of his guitars here. And this day, I felt this overwhelming, emotion come up, and it just kind of, this ran through my body, and I just broke down in tears. And it went on for about 45 minutes, but it was just such a profound experience, and I felt like this weight had been lifted. And after that day, my whole life had changed. I looked at life differently. I looked at everything differently. And I was quite taken back when it happened. But I reached out to people on Facebook and I was asking about it. I got in touch with some people who were more spiritually inclined. And they explained to me that was what they would say a spiritual awakening. But anyway, that day, was brought on. The awakening was brought on because of the time that I was spending, looking at myself, with meditation, with journaling, with exercise, but also with removing the alcohol and drugs from my life. And that sent me on a total whole journey, which was, as I say, 5 years ago now. But since that, doing that 2020, my morning routine has, it has changed over time. And that's because it's more in line with who I am today. So let's talk about the morning routine, okay, and what you can do to implement a morning routine into your life. Because, see, morning routines are the foundation about what we build the rest of our day, okay? This is where champions are built, okay? Because how you spend your morning, it sets you up with the energy and the mindset for the rest of your day, okay? And that was, for me, it was, finding sobriety and the path to becoming sober. Establishing a morning routine, it was so important because it provided me structure, stability, and I needed that to navigate the challenges of, going without alcohol or drugs, with my own thoughts. Because a lot of my drinking was because I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I didn't like who I was. I wasn't comfortable just being me. So when I was doing these morning routines, it was wins at the beginning of the day. I was exercising, that was a win. I was meditating, that was a win. I was learning self-help, that was a win. I was journaling, that was a win. I had all these wins first thing in the morning, so it set me up for, a much better day. Okay, and and from that, then I had structure, so I was feeling better about myself. So I was doing different things. I wasn't trying to run away from myself. I was, diving deep into, figuring out who I was. Okay, and that's when you're building a morning routine, it doesn't have to be a morning routine that's, that I've done, that anyone done. It has to be a morning routine that works for you. Okay, it's about, a morning routine's about intentional habits that resonate with your goals. Okay, and for me, my goals were, at the time, I had my own barbershop, and I loved being a barber, but I had bigger things that I wanted to do with my life. I've always loved helping people, hence why I'm doing this YouTube channel. So for me, it was about learning different coaching strategies, different coaching techniques. So at that time there, I was in a kind of learning mode. And from that moment, it's been a game changer, because the way I start my morning helps me stay focused for the rest of my day. And those who are on a journey of sobriety, a morning routine that becomes your sacred space for, self-reflection. And whether that is meditation, and I've started doing breathing exercises as well, or journaling, it's an opportunity to connect with your emotions. And for me, I was not in touch with my emotions for many, many years, because I used to avoid them, I used to suppress them, and I wasn't comfortable being me. And then I got to understand the triggers. I was self-aware, and these are all crucial elements of recovery. Okay, so now the morning routine, they're backed by science. Okay, it's not just about feeling good. It's not just a feel-good practice. There's, it has a profound impact on the brain and the body. So establishing a routine, it triggers a sense of control. It reduces stress. It enhances your overall well-being. Okay, and it's a neurological jumpstart that you need in your day. And this is not just about sobriety at all, but this is for anybody who wants better in your life. If you're not starting your day in a positive way, then that's you setting the tone for the rest of the day. Okay, and if you are aiming for sobriety, incorporating a morning routine, incorporating physical activities, these are a powerful way to support your body's natural healing process. Because exercise not only boosts endorphins, but it also contributes to, helping your sleep, reduce stress, and overall feeling better about yourself. And these are massively important when you're looking to have a sober lifestyle. So, see, every morning's a chance to set a positive intention for your day, okay? And whether that's, establishing affirmations or focusing on gratitude, it's about your mindset. So if you can shift your mindset towards optimism, then that positive outlook becomes a guiding force. It helps you navigate whatever obstacles or challenges that the day is going to bring. And it also it reinforces your commitment to being the best version of yourself. Okay, so how can you craft this morning routine for yourself? It's not a one size fits all. Okay, it's about identifying activities that align with who you want to be, the goals you want to achieve. Okay, and whether that is meditation, well, I would highly recommend meditation being a part of your morning routine, and exercise, whether that's 15-20 minutes, whatever it is, just to get the sweat going. But it's your personal prescription for success. Okay, because implementing a morning routine, it can also broaden your horizon to connect with other people who share similar goals, whether that's in a running group, in a gym environment, whatever it may be. Building a network of people who have got the same goals or the same aspirations that you've got, so that you're not alone in this journey. Okay, and yes, implementing a morning routine, it's going to, sometimes you're going to have challenges. Life happens, but remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Okay, as I said, I've faced many challenges, especially getting sober, but not just after that. After that, I sold my business, went on a new venture, which it was a ton of obstacles that, things I had started didn't work out. I'd failed and failed again. But because I'd built this structure in my life where I knew that I had a purpose in life, and I knew that it wasn't going to work, perfectly straight away. I had to learn certain things. I had to overcome them. But it was adapting and staying committed to my growth. And that's what it's about. Now, my morning routine is very different. I'll tell you my morning routine now. I get up about 4 o'clock. I have a tall glass of water with salt in it. For a long time I was doing green smoothies there, but I have a tall glass of water with salt in it. I meditate first now, and then once I'm finished meditating, then I go to the gym, okay? And while I'm in the gym, I listen to self-help books. Right now I'm listening to the 48 Laws of Power, but I've got a whole list of books that I'll go through on this channel that's helped me on my path. And then I come back and I spend time with my family before they go to school and then before work commences. But for your morning routine, it could be anything. But there's certain things that I would recommend that you implement in your morning routine. And number one, it's getting up, right up. Don't hit the snooze button. When you get out of bed, get out of bed and stay out of bed. Okay, because when you hit the snooze button and then you go back to sleep, you're you're messing up with your rhythm, your sleep rhythm. So get up, don't drink coffee straight away, okay? I would get up, drink water, and if you want to go straight to exercise, go straight to exercise. If you're like me and you want to hit the gym straight away, that's a great thing to do. If you don't want to hit the gym straight away, or you like to work out in the gym later on in the day so you've got more energy, then go for a short run, 15-20 minutes, whatever it may be, but try and get the blood, flowing and get a sweat on. And, and then whether you're going to set your intention for the day, do a bit of journaling, have a cold shower. There's many different things that you can do for your morning routine, but it's what works for you, because what works for you might not work for me or might not work for the next person. The most important thing is having a routine. And then, at the beginning, you might not have the best routine, but it's about looking and saying, right, what can I do? What are things that I can do? I'll try this, I'll try that, and then adapting it to stay, so that you can stay committed to growth, so that you can keep doing it. And I've adapted mine several times. Now, I've been doing this morning routine for about 3 years now, and it works for me because it gets the important things that I want to get done in the morning. That's my time to look after me, because right now, I'm the most important person in my life. And that's not from a selfish point of view. That's me actually put my family first, because if I'm not operating from my best self, how can I be the best father? How can I be the best husband? These are things that I think about. When my cup is full, then I can give from an overflowing cup. But if my cup is empty, I can't give from that. So just start a morning routine. And if you want to try the 20-20-20, the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma, that's a great book to read. But I would just start something, okay? And if there's, anything that that I would say is, don't put it off until, Monday or the beginning of the month. Just get it done straight away, because the more you start winning, the better you feel about yourself, the more chance of you have of carrying it on. Okay, so just get started. Worry about all the details after it. But even if you just get up, do a quick run, do a quick meditation, and then start to build on it. But the most important thing is just to get started, then figure out what works for you. Okay, because see, a morning routine, a morning ritual, it's a gift to yourself. It's an investment in yourself, in your well-being, in your success, in your happiness. So I challenge you to take that step today. Okay, identify one ritual that you can implement tomorrow morning, and then build from there. So maybe it's getting up an hour before you normally get up. Okay, maybe it's going on a walk and trying meditation if you've never done it before. Because I promise you one thing, meditation changed my life. This morning routine changed my life. And I haven't touched a drop of alcohol in over 5 years now. I haven't touched a drug in over 5 years now. So see, if I can do this, then anyone can do it. I'm living a life beyond my wildest dreams. Okay, beyond it. I never thought that I would have a life where I didn't have to rely on a substance to get through my day. I have a beautiful family. My bond is my children's much deeper and stronger. My bond with my wife, my mum, my dad, everyone. Okay, so, as we wrap up, remember, your morning routine, it's not a series of tasks. It's a collection of internal choices that propel you forward towards what it is that you want from life. A fulfilling life, a sober life, a successful life. Okay, so if this has been helpful, or if you think this might help anyone, share it to them. Okay, or even share your experience with someone else, because your experience might propel them to start a morning routine, because it's about building other people up as well as yourself. And that's why I'm doing this channel here. It's to build a community so we can support each other. Okay, so this is me. It's just signing off. You know, stay strong, stay resilient, and just embrace the power of your morning routine and just get started. Okay, thanks for watching.